Bronislava for HandMadeRukodelky. In the past couple of weeks I've been working on a baby jumper, and today is the part where we will be working on the front part. Okay, if you're working along, I mean knitting along, let's go have fun together, and if you're not, then at least have a good summer. In order to start knitting your front, you have to basically do the same thing like in video part 2 when I was knitting the back part. Okay, when I paired these two leg parts together, I did it 1, 2, 3, 4 times, and I'm ready to do it for the 5th time. Okay, as you see, I put a marker over here on this side. That's because I will be knitting just this part, and I will not be working on this part. But if you want the opening on this side, then you will count 21 stitches over here and put your marker on this side. Okay, and I have 21 stitches over here that I will not work with for a while. I will work with them later on. Okay, and we will create first this part of the front, and then later on this part of the front. But you can do it also the other way around, that you could go and work with short part on this side and later on work with the long part on this side if you want opening on the other side. Okay, when I knit from here to here, then I will add these on my other needle, because I will not, I will put it on a holding needle, but I have this needle which is a little thicker, so it's not gonna be sliding off. So I will use this needle over here. Okay, as you see, this row we're supposed to do our knit 3 together, yarn over, and knit 3 together again, and we will knit it all the way until last 6 stitches. We will not do that with the last 6 stitches. Last 6 stitches we will just knit all the way to the end. Okay, knit 3 together, yarn over, and 3 together. And basically you probably know how to do this already on your own, so I will make this video a little shorter. It's just basically showing you how to do the front. I don't have to show you how to do these stitches anymore. And it's very hot today and my hands are sweaty, so it's going to be a little bit more difficult for me to knit. I'll have to cool down my hands with the cold water all the time. Okay, so I will see you when I am over here and show you what to do with last 6 stitches. Okay, I repeated my pattern, yarn, knit 3 together, yarn over, and knit 3 together again 15 times, and I have 6 stitches left in here before my marker, and like I said, I will knit these stitches. Knit, 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 and slip the last stitch. So I've knitted 5 of them. Okay, and slip the last stitch. Okay, now I am slipping it because I want the special edge that I like. Now these stitches I am going to put on a different needle now. So I just will move these stitches, these 21 stitches on this needle. And actually this needle is a little thicker, like I said, and it will hold very well. It will not really move my stitches. See how tight it is? around this needle, so I won't have to worry about needle falling out. You can use also another holder if you want, the one that closes, that has a closure over here, and they will be waiting for me when I will be working with these. After I am finished, oops, okay, good. After I'm finished with this part that is going to go up, straight up, okay? So now what we will do is ignore this brown needle and we will start knitting. Now we do need to knit first 6 stitches and we will knit them, we will not purl, okay? So first stitch I will knit through the back loop, okay, and now I will knit 5 more stitches in a regular way, okay? So that is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Why am I doing this actually is that this is going to be my edge for buttons, okay? This is gonna be our edge for buttons. Now what we will do is we will purl all the way to the last stitch, which we will slip, okay? So purl entire row and slip the last stitch. So I purled all my stitches, okay, and I slipped my last stitch, and I'm ready to knit my 3rd row of my wide part of the front, okay, and I will do the same thing again, that I will knit through the back loop. Now I will knit all the stitches to the last stitch and I will slip the last stitch. So just knit all the stitches. So I knitted all the stitches and I slipped my last stitch. And what we need to do now, as you see over here, I am forming my edge for buttons. So we will knit the first stitch through the back loop, and then we will knit 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we have 6 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? And now what we will do is we will purl all the stitches and slip the last stitch. So purl entire row until the last stitch, which you will slip. So now that I am finished with my 4th row, I will repeat these 4 rows again, okay, and do it exactly the same way. And let me show you again. Knit 3 together, yarn over, and knit 3 together in English style. So put it through those 3 stitches, knit them together. Oh, I didn't do a good job in putting it through the 3 stitches. So knit them, yarn over, knit them one more time. Okay. Oops. And again, and repeat this all the way through the to the last 6 stitches, and you will knit 5 stitches and slip the last stitch. Okay. Knit 3 together, yarn over, knit 3 together. My hands are so slippery. I hate using air conditioner because it pollutes the air. Okay, so you just finish it all the way to the end like I said, and then, like I said again, knit 5 stitches, slip the last one, okay? And I will continue my style. So I did my repeat all the way to the last 6 stitches, and in this row we will actually add a buttonhole, okay? So when you're doing one row of knit 3 together, yarn over, knit 3 together, you're not going to put a buttonhole, and you will always do it every other repeat, all right? And also you will continue doing these repeats until you have 16, including these, all of these 16 of these repeats all the way up, okay? So over here now we need to add a buttonhole. So what I will do is, when you're doing this 5th row, basically, you will knit 1 stitch, knit 2 together, then do yarn over, and that's gonna be our buttonhole, and then knit 2 and slip last stitch. Okay, and now we are ready to knit 6 stitches, but the first one through the back loop, and then purl all of these stitches and slip last stitch. Knit first stitch through the back loop, now knit these 1, 2, 3, this is the yarn over, that's our 3rd stitch, 3, 4 and 5, which is basically 6 stitches. 1 is through the back loop, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a regular way. And now we will purl entire row until the last stitch, and that one is going to be slipped. So I'm finished with my purl stitch, yarn in the front, slipped last stitch, and now we will again do knit through the first stitch, knit through the back loop, knit all of these stitches and slip last stitch. And over here you will see that we do have a buttonhole, okay? So first stitch, knit through the back loop, and now knit all of the stitches. This is our 5, 6, 7th row, and these 7 rows you will repeat. Actually will repeat 8 rows. You need to repeat 8 rows, so I will show you last row, which is going to be a purl row with the first stitches that you need to knit, okay? First 6 stitches. So this is my 8th row, and we need to knit first 6 stitches. So first stitch is basically through the back loop, 5 of them the regular way, okay? So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, altogether 6, okay? And now we will just purl entire row until the last stitch, and we will slip the last stitch. So you see what I have done? So basically I started my repetition of the 8 rows right here. This is where we split our knit into 2 parts, okay? And this is gonna be our edge with buttonholes, as you see, okay? And we will do it every other time. So now we will repeat the first row that I showed you right here, okay, with no buttonhole. Then we will do back and forth 3 rows. Then I will do another 5th row that is gonna be with the buttonhole, you know, the and we're doing it in the row of knit 3 together, yarn over 3 together, okay, every other times. And then I do 3 back and forth again, and then I start again here. So these 8 rows are going to be repeated. And then you will finish, you will stop knitting when you have from here, when you count 16 of these repetitions of these lines. As you see, I have finished my 16 repeats of my pattern. Okay, so I have 16 of these lines going all the way up here, and also I have my buttonholes right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 buttonholes. Okay, which I always did every other. So I didn't do buttonhole here, I skipped, and I did buttonhole here in this row. Then I skipped this row, I didn't do any. I made a buttonhole right here, okay, skipped, another buttonhole in another row. I skipped this row, and then I did buttonhole in this row, okay, right here actually. Skip this one and did finally a buttonhole right there when I did my 16th repeat of knit 3 together, yarn over, knit 3 together, and went back over here, making the second row after I did. Actually, this is 5, 6. This is 6th row. So now we will be working on our shoulder part, okay, and for our front over here, the front opening, I will put aside 27 stitches, and 24 stitches are gonna be used for our shoulder part. So I will continue working on these 24 stitches on this edge, okay, on this side, and this one I will put on my other needle just like this, or you can use, like I said before, you can go and use a stitch holder, okay. I put 27 stitches on my helping needle, okay, and I have still 24 stitches over here to work on our shoulder. Basically right now what I will do is I will just knit through the back loop, knit all the way to the end, to the last stitch, and I will slip my last stitch, okay. So just knit entire row. So I finished knitting my row, and now I'm ready to purl my row, okay. So I will knit through the back loop and purl all the stitches until the end of the row, and the last stitch you will slip again. So purl all these stitches. So basically you will purl 22 stitches, right? Because first one is knit through the back loop and the last stitch is slip. Now that we finished our row, our purl row, we will do knit 3 together, yarn over, and knit 3 together again. So knit 3 together, yarn over, knit 3 together, and continue like this all the way to the end. Now that I finished my row with knit 3 togethers, I am going to purl the row, and the first stitch actually is slip, right? Slip with the yarn in front, and then you just start purling the stitches. You purl all the way to the end and slip also the last stitch, so you will basically purl 22 stitches. I am finished with my purl row, and now it's the knit row, So again, knit through the front loop, back loop, and then knit all the way to the last stitch. So you have to knit basically 22 stitches in a normal way, right? And then the slip the last stitch. Okay, so here we are. So now we will knit first stitch through the back loop, purl 22 stitches. Alright. Okay, and here we are, we're slipping the last stitch. And now this row, as you see, we need to do knit 3 together, yarn over, knit 3 together. Okay, so this is our row of knit 3 together, yarn over and knit 3 together. And when I'm finished with this row, we will purl, and then we will start binding off for shoulder. Okay, so as you see, I am finished with my second pattern repeat over here, like I said. Okay, so this was my initial one, and then I said 2 more knit 3 together repeats. So this is one and this is second, and now we are ready to go and do the purl row, because we need to get to this side over here for our bind off for the shoulders. Okay, so I slipped my first stitch in here, and I'm going to purl entire row. Okay, so I finished my row. Okay, and now we are ready to bind off 12 stitches. Okay, just like we did in the back part. So we will bind off 12 stitches, and you know how to bind off, right? So I knitted 2 stitches and then pulled that 1 stitch over the last knitted stitch. Now I have 1 stitch, and I will knit another one, and then I will pull this one over. Okay, so that's 2, 3, 4, 10, 11, 12. Okay, now we just will knit entire row except the last stitch, which we will slip. Alright, so we will just knit these stitches, slip the last stitch, and now we will purl. This is our purl row, so we first stitch we knit through the back loop, and then we purl. Now we will purl all these stitches. Stitch is slipped. We will slip this stitch, and we will bind off 12 more stitches. Okay, so bind off 12 more stitches. Okay, so this is our shoulder part. Okay, so and this is how it looks. Now we will work on the narrow part going up this way, and this is basically the width of this shoulder. So we will just go straight all the way up here, and then we will just work later on over here on the shoulder. And actually it's getting dark because there is a tornado coming our way. Anyway, so here I will move my stitches back on my needle, on my skinny needle. I think I will have to start working on this tomorrow. because it's really dark. I don't have the lighting. I would have to buy lighting and it's kind of costly. Alright, very good. So we will continue tomorrow. Alright, I am back, and as you see, I have my stitches transferred back to my regular needle. Okay, this is my edge of my wider section where I have my buttonholes. Okay, right there. And what we need to do is create also an edge over here going this way. So this edge overlaps the edge of the skinny part, okay, of the narrow part. So, and the way I want to do it is that I will cast on 6 stitches on this side over here. So when you go and look on this side, okay, you will see, let me put it this way it's maybe better. So you will see a purl stitches kind of like this, because on the other side over here we have the knit stitches. Okay, this is flat, and over here it is kind of, it has ridges, right? So what I will do is I will pick up 6 stitches along this last ridge, okay, this last purl row. Okay, that's what we will do. So if you look, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 over here. So these are the ones that we will, the stitches that we will use. Okay, so I will start with this one. I insert my needle in there and I just draw. You can also use a hook if you want to, okay? And I will just draw a yarn through that stitch. Okay, hold on one second, this is getting a little bit too long here. And make sure that you have actually long enough, so tail so you don't lose the stitch, okay? Now we will go to the next one and we will do the same thing, okay? Again into the next one. Let me see, this one is the next one, the ones that are toward you, not the ones away from your body, okay? So here is the next one. That's 3. This is the next one, 4. Okay, this is another one. No, not that one, sorry, this one right here. That's 5, and this is the one, that's the 6. Okay, so now we have casted on our edge for the skinny part. This is where the buttons will be, okay? And now, as you see, we are supposed to do knit 3 together, yarn over, knit 3 together, and repeat it to the end of the row, okay? So that's what we will do. So we will do knit 3 together, yarn over, and I kind of tightened up my first stitch, okay? I kind of pulled on it because I don't want a big gap there, okay? So now yarn over and knit 3 together and repeat it all the way to the end, okay? Knit 3 together, okay, yarn over and knit 3 together. So I finished my row, 6 cast on 6 stitches, and then the knit 3 together, yarn over and knit 3 together, and we're ready to do our second row, which we will turn around. Now this yarn has to be in the front because we will slip our first stitch, and then we will purl all the way to the end except the last six stitches. Okay, so I slipped 1 stitch and then purled 20 stitches, and now I'm ready to knit 5 stitches and slip the last stitch. So knit 5 stitches, 4 and 5, and slip the last one. Now they're getting too long here, so you just tighten them up, okay? You tighten them up and it will be okay. And later on we will weave the ends in, okay? Now we will continue with knit the first stitch through the back loop, knit all these stitches in a regular way, and slip the last stitch. So knit through the back loop, knit all the stitches, she wants my attention today. It's really wild. She usually sleeps all day, my doggy. So here I am at the end, my last stitch, slip, okay, and now, actually that's not her, that's him, that's my Yoda. Okay, and now we need to do one more purl row, okay, and where we will knit the last 5 stitches, and the last 6 stitch is going to be slipped. Okay, so you basically have to purl these stitches until last 6 stitches. Okay, so let's knit the first stitch through the back loop, purl 20 stitches, purl 20 stitches, and when we're finished with that, we will knit 5 stitches and slip last stitch. So I'm finished with my 4th row where I purled these stitches and knitted last 6 stitches, or actually knitted 5 stitches and slipped the 6th one, okay? And now we are going to repeat those 4 rows again. I will knit first 6 stitches, the first one through the back loop, okay, knit, 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 knit and knit, that's 6, and now we will do knit 3 together, yarn over, knit 3 together, and you will continue just like this all the way up until we do need to do our shoulder part. Okay, so I am finished with my narrow part of the front. Okay, and what happened now is that I have actually these lines over here. I have 18 of them before I started decreasing or binding off, actually not decreasing, binding off for my shoulders, and I need to go and do this on this side to, you know, to bind off for my shoulders right here. At the moment I have 17 of these lines over up to here, and this is my 18th. I have 18 right here before I did my bind off for shoulders, and I am going to go and do the same thing over here, the 18th repeat. Okay, so let's go and do that. So again we will start with this row. We will start with knit 1 through the back loop, and then knit 5 more stitches in a regular way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and now we will do again our 18th from here, from the crotch, our 18th repeat of the knit 3 together, yarn over, knit 3 together, and do this all the way to the end. Okay, all the way to the end of the row. So I'm finished with my row, okay, where I knitted 3 together, and now we just need to go back. Okay, so first one is to slip and then purl all the way to the last stitch, and you will slip the last stitch. Okay, so just let's go and purl these stitches. Actually, we need to purl all the way to the last 6 stitches, okay, which I already did. And now we will knit 5 stitches, knit 5 stitches, and slip the last one. Okay, now we will do one more knit row, and when we get to the when we finish this row, we will start start binding off, not decreasing. We will start binding off for our shoulders. Okay, so knit this entire row. So I knitted through the back loop, the very first one, and now we will knit all the stitches. So now that I knitted my entire row, we will bind off for our shoulders. Okay, and actually I will I need these 6 stitches. Actually I will have probably 5 stitches to add to my collar area. Okay, you'll see it later. So instead of binding off 12 stitches and again 12 stitches, I will bind off 11 stitches and 11 stitches. Okay, so we will knit first stitch through the back loop, then we will purl the stitch, and we will bind off first stitch by pulling that back stitch over the first purl stitch. Okay, and we will repeat this again. We just will keep binding off in that way. Okay, so that's my second, and this is 3 and 10 and 11. Now we will purl to the last 6 stitches and we will knit last 6 stitches. Okay, so purl these stitches until last 6 stitches, purl, purl, purl. Let me see how many more. 2, 4, 6, one more. Now we will knit 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we will slip the last one. We will turn around and again we will knit this row. Okay, knit that row. So we knitted first stitch through the back loop, and now these stitches are being knitted a regular way. In the last stitch in this row we will slip. I will slip this. Now we will again bind off 11 stitches. Okay, not 12, 11. So we will knit through the back loop, purl the first stitch and bind off one stitch, purl another stitch, bind off second stitch, and now this is going to be our third stitch and stitch number 4 and 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and 11. Okay, now we have 5 stitches only in here, so but that's okay. Okay, this is going to be part of our collar. We're gonna go and have couple rows of edge around the collar. Okay. Okay, so here you see how I have it all set up. Okay, this is the back part. You can see the back part here, so you can actually visualize how it's going to be. The neck area is going to be knitted this way around here, back and forth, few rows. Okay. In the next video, I will do the sleeves. Okay. We will do the actually the finishing up this opening for the diaper and the neck area, and then we also will sew the legs and sleeves together over here and over here. Okay, so this is it for today, ladies and gentlemen. Again, I thank you very much for watching my videos and sharing them, and I will see you another time. Hello, baby. Are you hot? Is it very hot summer? Yes, you're hot.